Today is my favorite day. I'm wearing my hateful t-shirt. My goal is to try to give you an idea of what can be the best advantage in every type. Because every type has its dilemma. It doesn't matter what kind of type it is. Why manifestor is angry? We are angry because people do not understand us. They feel very uncomfortable around us. There is nothing funnier to watch how people are trying to stand around manifestors. It's really cute. You can't enter their aura, especially all these generators with their embracing aura around you. They're trying to take you into their aura. And it's not like manifestors wouldn't want to do that. It's just not the way it works for them. We have this conditioning process, and if you want to say something and your aura says something, my manifestor's aura says, leave me alone. If I don't want to say this, I don't. I'm even saying, come closer. And my aura says, get away from me. That's why it's not easy to be a manifestor. It's not easy to be a parent manifestor. I know this for a fact. It's not easy. It's not easy to push through one of these auras. Look, manifestors have this reputation throughout many centuries, and you've got to understand this. People always admired that manifestors were building this whole civilization, and throughout the history it was considered that generators were simply slaves of these right manifestors. I like those times when generators were my slaves, and it was amazing. I used to tell them, you could do what I do, and they tried. And I was watching how they were trying to do it, and I didn't need to do anything. They are brave people. They are working well. There is nothing better than a busy generator, which is easy to manipulate. But this happened 300 years and more ago. Generators don't pay a lot of attention to us, as if we are the problem. And it's true, they are right, we're not like them. It's not very easy to think or say that manifestors used to have this true glory. And you have to understand that each has a strategy, and it comes from the body. Generator strategy or projector strategy or reflector strategy is truly rooted in their body. And don't say it to anyone. Manifestor strategy is made up. It's true. If manifestors won't pretend that they have a strategy, they will have a difficult time with all people. Then they will be very lonely. And when I say lonely, I truly mean loneliness in being lost in themselves and being very angry at the whole world around them. Manifestors are not like any other type around them. Nobody knows what a burden they carry. Compared to any other strategy, to wait for invitation, to wait for response, to wait for the moon, it seems that we manifestors have it easy with our strategy, but nobody likes it. Nobody. And as soon as you, a manifestor, wake up with an amazing idea, you know how to turn the doorknob, how to open the door. Then you go outside, spend a great time, lose yourself somewhere inside yourself, leave, get lost, and your mother ultimately calls the police, and the child says, I was in the forest next to the house, looking at the trees, playing and dreaming about future. And all of a sudden, there are people with big hats saying, we found him, we found him. My mother was very angry. She said, I will never let you go outside alone. You can't go alone. I will not let you, ever. I opened the door because I could open it. I went out into the world because I liked it. The strategy is not real. It is not this natural place within me which wants to inform you. There is no place such as that. There is no natural place within me which wants to ask anyone's permission. I'd rather die, because there is no true mechanics for this. The only thing the manifestor child can protect itself from, he can pretend that he is not really terrible. He can pretend that he needs others. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I won't do this again. I'm a little manifestor. Could you help me cross the street? If you tell this to a generator, he will say, oh, of course, I'll be happy to help you. Let me take you across the road. Such a sweet manifestor you are. And he will take this manifestor across the road, as if this is the only way how I can cross the street. All we face all the time is resistance, and it really makes us very angry. This shouldn't be some crazy anger, but this anger is always there inside and it doesn't go away. Who are you to stand in my way? Why are you standing in my way at all? You are an idiot. You don't know what I know. Get lost. Go and wait. That's the manifestor's image, driving a truck and driving it over someone. If you are a manifestor and see someone on the road, you can't just drive over them because there are laws, because there is a certain conditioning why a manifestor can't simply run over a person even if they want to do it really bad. Instead, he says, let's inform, and we signal. And if you pay attention, when manifestor is hitting the signal, he doesn't take his foot off the gas pedal. He just says, get lost from my way or I'll run over you. And it's your problem, not mine. And this old lady is even thankful that we signaled and she could leave. This is food for the highway. That's why we're not liked, because manifestors are driving around and not signaling. But this doesn't match any idea about what this person should be like. I will never forget my first public speaking. It was in some town hall, and there were really spiritual and esoterical people there. I remember this evening so well because I kicked someone out from there. I was on the stage saying all my nonsense, and someone asked me a question, and I said, "Dear guest, get out from here." When I told him to get lost, it became really quiet, and everyone started saying, "Yes, yes, get out." And you could see how others started joining and saying, "Yes, get out." When the lecture finished, people came up to me and said, "It was terrible. You have to be nice. You have to be a saint. You shouldn't throw people out." We are manifestors, and there is a part of us which doesn't accept any morals, any laws. I am an ego manifestor, and these are the most terrible people on the planet, and very dangerous. Ask all the women I've dumped. I'm very angry. Ego manifestor, you can imagine all my work is based on the willpower. And if someone stands in my way, well, nowadays I'm signaling. I'm letting them know, saying, don't do this, don't stand in my way. And if they do, I say, well, that's your problem now. There are two sides in every type. The non-self of the manifestor lives with its anger. And if it lives with its anger, it will never know love. It just will not. The hardest thing for a manifestor in their life is love. They don't have this natural way of connecting to other people, which means that psychologically, love becomes something very difficult. It's very difficult for them. There is no feeling there that they have to be connected with someone, that they have to be attached to someone. The aura doesn't let this. And when I remember my childhood relationship with my mom, and this was a mother with a child manifestor. I was a child and I was the last child in the family, and I truly loved her, but she could never approach me. It was simply impossible. And when you think about psychology, think about how difficult it is, what it is like to carry something like this within. And the anger, it's the chemistry. It is passed on from the past, and I have to live with it. What? You want me to become nice? Do I need your permission? These are like the first kings, how they felt when they had to give away their power. Imagine. They will be ruling, and I will be asking their permission. It's very tough. The other side of the manifestor is their signature, and something which is their purpose. We are here to find peace. That's what we want more than anything else. Peace. We don't want all this resistance. I'm living in the bubble, and maybe I'm coming out of it once a day for a short period of time. I live in this bubble in which I don't need to deal with this natural resistance. I don't care that people know. I'm saying about what it feels like. When I enter some public cafe, how does my aura feel? There is nothing which welcomes you. Nothing. You are not bringing it outside. Whatever you are projecting as a manifestor, whatever you are carrying as yourself, you're not. They don't know what you like. They don't know what that you like them. They don't know anything about that because they are not feeling it naturally. Generators are about the expression, give their heart away to someone. When a generator enters my aura, they are ready to give me everything. It's in their aura. It's good that you are with me. That's why let's be together. Bring out everything you have. Projectors are pretty much coming onto you with their focus. I can feel them from any angle. They are like true snipers. Let me aim at you. And they are aiming in that one spot within their aura. And oh God, the further away from me, the better. And when you are a manifestor, you are entering into one of these buildings and they're all looking at you. And this is crazy. It is crossing all the borders. When the projector is behind you, you keep on looking behind your shoulder to where the projector is. That's why you leave. And they say, you know, he's not very friendly. It's very difficult to approach them. And it's so funny. That's the aura. And this is the magic when you understand this. In order to understand people, you need to understand their aura. Because aura is something how we all are interrelating with one another. Manifestors don't interact. When we do, it truly works. It's easy for me here. I'm far away from you. I'm in my own space. I can interact on this level. I can do this old manifestor's trick, which I will do anyway. To be a manifestor, to be among people, the horror from what it is like for the manifestor. People don't understand this. This is a horrible life. It is truly horrible, and while you are living and not understanding why this all happens this way in relationships, you won't be able to break free from conditioning. I thought that something was wrong with me. I truly thought. It was clear to me that I am non-emotional. I am a manifestor. And it seemed to me that I have problems connected with people with the fact of going into relationship with them. What was the problem exactly? I had no idea. I had no idea that all people wanted to get access to me. A lot of times I didn't even notice that because you are enclosed in the aura of your own type, and it's very lonely there. Then there are all these mechanisms of our life, all these lovers, children, and all that. I love my children very deeply, but they know what my aura is like. We don't spend all the time in the aura contact because it's impossible. I am living in the house full of generators, and when I spend 10 minutes with them, I want to go to my room, and there is nothing personal in this. I just want to get out of this frequency. I'm a pure, non-sacral being. I don't need all this. And this is not a mental thing. It's not psychological. There is nothing personal. It's physical. And you see, until you start understanding this, majority of manifestors, and it's almost 10%, around 500 million people, we have 500 million angry, lonely people. It's not a very pleasant thing. It brings in chaos. And we are those people who want peace. It is our only goal in all that. Everything which is connected with this knowledge, it is connected with being able to get rid of the resistance when you can operate correctly as your true self. For a manifestor, it can be something you can rely on. The majority of manifestors will never come to such meetings, courses. They don't need it. And I have done thousands and thousands of readings, and very few of them were for manifestors. Because they have already closed down. They are already angry at the world. And since there is no natural strategy, there are emotional people which are riding their wave. There are generators which are in their own discoveries, and they are answering for their life. There are projectors from time to time which are also becoming aware of a mess in their life and try to sort it out. And this all is resonating very deeply for them, but not for a manifestor. If you want to teach your manifestor child to be polite, you need to understand that it is not natural for them. It's not what they like, not something they would want to learn. This is not the child which would want to play by the rules of this world. This is a training. For a manifestor child, if they didn't receive this training before they become grown-ups, it will be too late when they are adults. I've met very few adult manifestors which were very polite. What does it mean for an adult manifestor to inform? It changed my life for real. I don't have any reason or base to say anything to anybody. I was crazy and I had this strange experience. I was completely lonely and in a way I liked it. It was a special life. If honestly, I have no real reason or wish to change it. I didn't want to tell this story of the voice to anyone, but more than that, I didn't want to have years and years of resistance. What it was for me, for a manifestor, all these 20 plus years, to contribute something new into this world and all the time deal with this resistance. And I kept on standing and informing, letting them know. It saved my life. I have such a blessed life. It is so easy for me to be myself, to be this manifestor. We are here to influence, so we are not that useless. I influenced many beings on this planet, and that's the core. We have this influence effect. When you are thinking of a manifestor, think about what they watch, what they contemplate. But before you do this, try to understand how many people it will influence. And then you will be able to understand what it means to be a manifestor. Because our influence is natural. This is our gift. It is a natural gift. The fact that we have this unusual aura, different from the rest, helps us stand it. They know us, they see us, and we truly influence them. It doesn't mean that manifestors won't come out, that they are completely uninterested in themselves. During these 20 years, I'm still learning about myself, studying myself, because that's the most interesting thing. I am a manifestor, not a generator. Generators are always in some temple of themselves. I'm here not to get to know myself. I'm not worried about that. Influence, effect. Yes, that's interesting. That's what manifestor is interested in. Can I influence? What kind of influence? When I was giving a reading to a manifestor, all of them were telling me, I don't need these readings. I just came to you to find out the truth. I want the truth. For example, there is an ideal of a pure generator, and I can't think of something more ideal, more perfect. It simply is perfect. All they need to do is resonate, respond, and this is a classical example of what gives us everything in this life. And look at us manifestors. We're not like that. We're not lilacs in the field. We are warriors. That's what we are. The fact that we are now in this hierarchy and we are forced to leave from the top, it doesn't mean that we stop being the way we were. I like to see myself metaphorically as this huge statue which is on the field where nobody is driving. It is just standing there. That's the manifestor. But you still can have a small show on this field. You can have this influence anyway, and you can still live your life. Now this world belongs to generators and projectors. I'm okay. I don't mind this. Keep going. We manifestors retired. We don't want to rule this world anymore. We want this world to stop pressuring us. We want them to leave us be so that we can enjoy our life. We pretend that we like them. That's what we do. That's what I do. I'm really pretending that I love each of you. Or while having dinner with my generator family, I do that. And if there is anything I can do right now, I will do it. I am letting them know. And if you talk to people who knew me in the first half of my life, I have a design of a person who disappeared. There was a guy who stood up one day, left, and never came back. And now I am pretending. And they keep on saying, what a nice manifestor, sweet manifestor, not dangerous at all. We can trust this manifestor because it tells us something about what it is planning to do. It's wonderful. And if you are not doing it, you are simply standing up and leaving. And everyone says, "What happened? Is something wrong? Are you angry?" So many times people asked me if I was angry when I was simply leaving the room. And I was just leaving the room. These are people of the aura which says, "Where did this aura go? We can't hold on to it anymore." And they don't like it. That's why you need to say, "No, I'm going to my room." And then everything is okay. Now he is in his room. We know where he is. All is good, no worries. That's what it means to be a manifestor. We are those who have to always do things. We are those who have to do it first. Everyone is looking at us and saying, "I'm waiting for my response." The other one is saying, "No, I'm waiting for my invitation." And the reflector saying, "I'm waiting for the moon." But someone has to fill this bucket with water. And I don't want to do it myself. We have to do it. And then they start getting annoyed with me. "What do you mean they want us to do it?" Then they are going against you. You want to go your way? Then we're going to create so much resistance for you so that you will go and get that water yourself. I've spent years pumping others, generators, projectors, saying how wonderful you are that you are a generator projector. And today is a day of manifestors. And if you are not a manifestor, I'm sorry, you are out of luck. Then you need to see what it looks like. All we need is peace. Think about it. We are the only people on this planet who want peace. Generators want to be satisfied in war, and whenever you satisfy them, these are the most wonderful creatures until they are all right. They are operating correctly, they are satisfied. Projectors want their success. They can be successfully killing, lovingly, whatever it takes until they receive their success. And I don't care if this is correct for them. It's good. Then it's good. Do it. Reflectors want their surprise only, to keep getting them surprises. And we manifestors want peace. That's us. We are those who created wars, and now we all wanted peace. I'm sorry, my mistake. When we were in charge of peace, war was great. Now when we're not in charge anymore, the war is not that great. Now there are these collective tribal wars between generators and projectors, and they can kill one another. We manifestors never did it. I'm kidding. But we want peace. That's my job. I'm here to get peace, to bring us peace. Gods like this joke, and this is a joke. Of course, it's not about bringing peace to other people. It's about receiving this peace for ourselves. As soon as I understood all this, as soon as I understood that I'm here the only authority which can work for me, as soon as I started living it in my life, only then I started understanding that the peace is possible. I have an open emotional system, open root. Look at my design. I have 3 open motors. I have a very powerful non-self. To avoid confrontation, truth. Never know when enough is enough. Always be under pressure. Do this all, and it won't even matter. I haven't come across anything apart from resistance. And it was scary because I was smarter than many, and I couldn't understand why I had this disorder in life. There was only anger, and being a non-emotional, this anger was terrible, so terrible. And I can remember those moments when I completely lost it, no control whatsoever. It was not me. This is a terrible tragedy in this life, that people walk around and never say about themselves. They don't know something about themselves or about their children. People don't even know how they operate in their own body. Everything we've learned from our teachers and parents, mostly, was a lie. Majority was not even connected with what we are. I have a big sympathy for all those generators who were brought up by manifestors, and all their life is frustration. It's so painful. And it is connected with the non-self. Peace comes to manifestors when you play games with other people, and all this time dealing with this resistance. Then it's much easier to be social for us. And the key here is authority. We are all ruled by the mind. The smarter you are, the deeper is the problem. It is what our mind does to us. It is here not to decide for us, not to rule our life, control our movements in this life. The real changes for me happened not when I started playing the manifestor game, but when I started informing. This is what gave me an opportunity for my relationships, my environment, what changed for me, and what really became meaningful in my design. I am a spleen manifestor, and I know only in the moment, and I only can trust what I know in the moment, nothing else. It took me a long time to go away from the power of this mind and start living my life. When I look back, I realized that my mind was doing an incredible work for me. And then this magic thing happened.